So as I'm doing this beautiful healing work on myself, I'm now allowing myself to receive from men. Whereas before, I had a wall up. Even if a man tried to help me with anything, I wouldn't let him. And it was harder for me to receive because I was always in the mode of protecting myself and being on guard and watching out for the next danger or threat that literally could happen. And one of the fears is that a man could do something that would literally threaten my personal safety. And so it's a very valid reason to not receive from men, but also it blocks off the experiences that I could be enjoying and having from men that truly want to be of service. And so let me just tell you a story about one of these experiences, one of these really nice experiences. So depending on where I'm going for the day or how I feel like traveling, I sometimes take public transport. Sometimes I take taxis, sometimes I do ride share, sometimes I do public transport. This day I decided to take a train to get from where I wanted to get to in the city. And so I get on the train, and on this particular part of the carriage, there were some open seats, but it would be where most of the carriages on the train, they're either 4-seaters or 2-seaters. So some of the 4-seat sections, there would be maybe 3 people sitting in an open space, but then there's not a lot of leg room in that space. There was a lot of seating available like that. And so when I got on, I looked around and I decided, I think I'll just stand for a little bit, because there wasn't a seat that I wanted to sit in because I like space around me. I like to feel like I sit down and I got room for my bag. I got room for when I take out my water bottle, I got room. Sometimes I have my water bottle in my bag. I need space around me. And so since when I got on, I just said, okay, I'm just going to stand. And so I'm standing there with I had a shopping bag in my hand and I had my backpack on. And so I'm just standing there. I'm holding on. There's a rail, a really secure rail that I can hold on to. So I was just holding on to that. And then I just stood there and I was totally fine with that. It wasn't going to be that many stops before maybe 15 minutes, which isn't very long. And so as I'm standing there, a man gets up and he motions for me to sit down. And there were men all around in the area where he was sitting. There was 1, 2, 3. He was probably the 4th man that was sitting in that area. And he got up from his seat and motioned for me to sit down. He got up just for me. And I said, thank you. I felt so feminine. I felt like such a lady. I felt so special. Oh my gosh. And this kind of thing happens for me all the time. But what I'm doing now is I'm deciding to focus on the positives, because we all have good and bad experiences. And what we focus on the most is what multiplies in our experience, and we get more of that. So that's why I'm talking about this experience. And so this is not the first time that it's happened, and it happens very often. It's just different things. It's different gestures and things that men do towards me to help me. And so he gets up and I sit down. I said, thank you. And I felt so graceful. And so he's standing on the train, right? They have the handrails that you can hold on to. So he's standing up there and he's got his phone out. And I mean, he motioned, like he smiled at me. So he's like this. And he didn't even think another moment about it. It's like he had husband energy. He was the type of man who does things for a woman, and it's just his nature. It was a pleasure and a joy and a delight for him to give up his seat for me. That's how I felt. It was like, it was just so easy. There was such a flow to it, and he was happy to do it for me. It wasn't a burden for him. It was like, of course I'm going to give up my seat for you. Like, that was the energy. It was, of course, you're a lady. Have my seat. Like, it was just beautiful. And I was like, oh, and I I had plenty of space around me. I sat down and I was so comfortable. And I recognized that that was the Lord showing me that there are men out here who are kind-hearted. There are men who are generous. There are men who care about women. There are chivalrous men out here who really do care about women. And so I'm aware that not everybody has this experience, and that's why I'm talking about it. It's going to be what you focus on the most. So when somebody does something like this for you, it's going to be what you go to as your default. Are you going to go back to all the painful experiences that you had with men and focus on those? Or when once in a while a man does something nice for you, are you going to focus on that more instead and let that replay over and over in your mind and let that marinate and let that be more of the norm for you, more of what happens on a regular basis? That's where I'm at right now. I'm allowing the good to roll over and marinate in my mind over and over again on repeat, on replay, so that that is natural and overflowing on a more regular basis. And when I finally got to my stop, as I was getting off the train, I said, thank you again. Like I was just showing gratitude. And for me, I did that more for me than I did for him. And for me, what I was doing is I was affirming that I was receiving something from a man that felt comfortable and safe and loving. And I was reveling in the moment. I was letting it marinate. I was savoring it. I was making it last longer. I was stretching it out, because the more that you do that inside of you, the more it becomes like second nature. And it felt very nice. I was on a natural high after that whole day. Like that made my day. I just felt like I felt so amazing. I felt like a superstar. Oh my goodness. You couldn't tell me I wasn't a celebrity that day. I just felt so special. And there's another one though that I'm going to talk about.